How would you rank SPP for merchant storage in particular relative to other markets in the US and the opportunity there? And obviously the leaders are known: California, ERCOT, and SPP, and maybe New York City. And then I think everything else is pretty far behind those. Give us your thoughts on that today, tomorrow, and where, because there's a lot of heterogeneity in these markets too.
Yeah, I actually would probably put SPP as my #1 market, not because it's got the best fundamentals right now, but 2 years ago, and just kind of to date myself at Ascend, I've been at Ascend for about 2.5 years, and when I first got here, everybody was talking about California, and then about a year later, people started to realize, like, okay, California is great, but everybody knows California is great, so maybe I need to start looking somewhere else. So people started looking at Texas, and a year and a half ago, everybody's looking at Texas as the new exciting place. And now we're a year later, and I'm already hearing from people, they're not looking at Texas because Texas is great, but everybody knows it's great, and so you either were already there ahead of the game, or it's too late now. And that's a little bit about how I feel about SPP now. I look at the price volatility at SPP, and it is wild, particularly as the gas prices have risen. What we've seen is that coal is a bigger part of the generation mix, which means the supply is less flexible. And so less flexible supply means we're seeing a lot of negative prices, which is great. But the higher gas prices means we're also seeing high prices, because you have gas as marginal unit quite often. And so more negatives plus higher positives has led to just a lot of volatility. I've been watching the prices every day for the last 6 months, and it's a very, very volatile market, more volatile than California by far. And so I see SPP as having great opportunity, and is at the point today that maybe ERCOT was a year ago. And so to me, it's probably one of the best opportunities in the country. As for where, I think the best long-term fundamentals are as you get closer to the Ozark Plateau, because that's where you're the most transmission constrained. It's also, you don't have quite as high renewable penetration there, so you don't have the drivers of volatility. But given the kind of flat terrain of most of SPP, I expect most of the volatility to be able to spread everywhere. And SPP South Hub, the hub price is extremely volatile. It's not just nodes. So, if you're looking at a volatile hub, and then you can get close to that, interconnection pocket down by ERCOT, constrained by the Ozark Plateau to the east, that's probably where I would be looking. That in the lower left corner, which is the WEC ERCOT boundary, but that has a lot of really open land. And so while there's a lot of potential there, that potential can get mitigated away very quickly.